P3, public-private partnership.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, it is, you pay state income taxes to the state of Oklahoma, 5% of all your salary. This P3 program that we got approved for a couple of weeks ago from the Board of Directors of the Oklahoma Finance Commission allows that money to come back to the city of Kingfisher to pay for a specific capital improvement project, which is the fire station. So those three companies, that 5% that they give to the state's gonna reimburse us once a year back to us. And we're confident we'll be able to get that money back.
Hearing all that, do we have any other questions?
So the actions for tonight are to approve
Going out to
going
bid.
out to bid.
Yeah.
We are not approving the project,
No.
we're not approving anything other than we're approving the project, go out and get the bid and
Right.
make sure that
It's already
the
been
estimate of 513 is reasonable, or we know what to expect.
It's all been designed.
Yeah,
He's got the bid packages ready to go. He's been chomping at the bit to get it out.
yeah.
I probably have been chomping at the bit. Because I think capital improvement projects, the public likes to see work getting done.
Yeah.
Passed. Thank you, Mr. Manning. Second item on the agenda is item 3B, the discussion and possible action to award a bid to the Francis Enterprises cleanup and reclamation of Harry's Hole Nature. Harry's Hole Nature, that's what it says. So,
Nature Preserve.
Mr. Gooden, Nature Preserve, thank you.
All right. Hello, friends. I'm down for 2 agenda items, and they ought to be really easy tonight. We have a grant from the Department of, from DEQ, Environmental Quality, that is $46,500, and we have a bid here that is not by the total, but the bid documents require them to stay within the grant funds that we have. There are no matching funds required. So the low bidder is Francis Enterprises, which you know is a Francis family here in town. They've done work down there before, very, very familiar with it. Back when we were clearing houses out of the floodplain, some of those got buried down there. We're not digging those up, but we're getting rid of other trash that has accumulated. So since they've got a good bid, they've got all the documents in, I would ask that you award it. Again, no matching funds. So it is a reimbursement grant, but we've got to get it done by June 30th, and I think we're right on track for that. And the bid documents spell out that they have to finish by June 15th, so that we have a little time to get it turned in.
This is under Jim's allowed. Why are we coming to commission for this?
It's $40-some-odd thousand.
Yeah,
There's another,
That's not reflected in what was attached.
what was attached was only a cubic yard price with a mobilization price to it, so there's not an overall.
There's not an overall price, no.
So what was the overall price from Francis?
well,
Do you know?
The
you
grant is-
have the, it wasn't bid in that way. Okay, the bid documents spell out that the total billing will have to be less than that, a grant
Not to
amount.
exceed.
Not to exceed.
46,000.
So we'll just get into it and we'll see how many loads they can take. I anticipate this is a phase 1 and that we'll have still a phase 2. We've applied for grant monies for that, again from the DEQ. But we'll see how far we can get.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I thought that was posted on there, but it's a not to exceed of 46,000.
So we have been approved for grants to pay for this.
We have.
Already.
We have.
We just need to approve this, then we'll pay for it, then we'll get reimbursed for the grant, with the grant,
Exactly.
whenever we get it. Okay.
Correct.
No matching funds?
No matching
funds.
funds. Okay. I'll make a motion to approve the Francis Enterprise cleanup and reclamation of Harry Hole's Nature Preserve.
Second?
That motion carries. Thank you. Next item is item 3C, which is a discussion possible action to approve CLS and Associates proposal for preliminary plans for the Harry Hole cleanup. Mr. Gooden.
All right, now this is a strange deal because what you just voted to do with the DEQ money will pay for the second thing. And here's how. So we get to count as matching funds the DEQ grant, even though it's paying for what the Francis people are doing. All right, we'll do that. But then I get to turn it in again as matching funds for the land and water grant, which is a 50-50 deal. But, and you haven't actually been awarded that grant. It's $252,000. It's been approved by the tourism department. It's been approved by the governor. It's been approved by the feds at the National Park Service. It's just now waiting in the financial analysis thing, okay? And they want a detailed accounting for how we'll spend the money, because this is post-Doge, right? Washington's very cautious about these things. So you're approved in advance to do this, to do the preliminary design, and the grant will pay for it. We'll pay the 50%, and the other 50% will be, you know, what we just did with the DEQ.
So the
Make
50% of the $12,000 of the cost from doing the preliminary?
So right. So I'm asking you to approve the preliminary design total.
Which is what, $12,000?
Is it 12? I was thinking it was 14. Is that right? Is it 12? All right, $12,000. Right. So then I'll file all the paperwork for us for those two things. One, the land and water, and the other, refiling the DEQ back to land and water. But anyway, that's you get those two sources, the grant and the matching funds.
Okay. And then you're just talking about a $253,000 grant, but we're looking at a project budget of $464,000. Where's the difference there?
So the total, you've applied for a grant for land and water funding that's 252, that's 50-50.
Okay.
So that would be $504,000 when awarded for the total project, okay? But you have to understand that that is not a number that was produced by professionals. It was a number produced by me in writing you a grant for what I wrote according to what you could get for matching funds and
Sure.
about what it seemed. You know, I didn't just pull it out of the air. You know, I talked with professionals about it, talked with the airport engineer about it, and I talked with these people, the CLS and Associates, about it. But that's how you get to that bigger number, is when it's awarded, that will be our not to exceed number, right? We don't have to spend that much. But,
Sure. But you have a line of sight, to funds
right,
to fund this up to this number
yep, that's right.
without us.
without us.
That's correct.
Okay. Thank you.
So, sure.
I just want to clarify that.
I will try to give you guys a report here in a couple of weeks. We got a lot of stuff cooking that I think you'll want to know. All good news.
And then again, just to clarify for tonight, we're just approving the $12,000 for the preliminary plans
Yeah,
to get this thing
Right,
started.
and there's no obligation to
Right.
go beyond that.
yeah,
Okay,
Right.
There's no obligation from the city, right?
so from the city.
that's
Right.
correct.
Okay.
Just come through us.
Do we have any other questions, or do we have a motion?
I can motion to approve, we'll just do it easy, item 3C.
Second.
That item 3C is approved.
All right.
Thank you,
Thank
Mr.
you so
Gooden.
much.
Thank you, John.
Next item on the agenda is item 3D, the discussion and possible action to approve OMAG Municipal Property Protection Plan at the cost of $219,000, $219,397. Mr. Thomas.
As I shared with you in a memo over the weekend, this is about a 20% increase over last year. OMAG briefed Brittany and I several months ago that property insurance is just going up across the United States. Everybody got hit. They were losing money, and it's kind of like one of those things they got to catch up, and so everybody, all municipalities got hit with a 20%. So it's $219,397.
And I called Jim earlier today just to clarify, this is essentially just a pure raise of the cost. This is not, we didn't adjust our property values, or we're not getting covered by any more of a blanket policy or additional, anything additional to our policies. This is just basically them saying, we're gonna raise your bill 20%.
And you know, if you look at your own personal, I had to raise my deductible so that my insurance didn't go up last year on my house. I don't know what you guys did with your houses, but I went from a $500 deductible to $1,000. I know other people have had to move 1% of their deductible up to adjust, and so it's just a pass along cost of doing business.
And then Jim, you said you were gonna kind of look out and see if there's
That's
other
under health
options on
insurance.
That's the health insurance
Yeah,
is
that's
on
it.
going out
That's
to the
the
market
next
again.
item,
Okay,
yeah.
but on this one, we're pretty much stuck with OMAG on
Yeah,
this one.
and they're a good company.
Yeah.
You know, but they've just had some claims that didn't cover, you know, their expenses didn't cover their revenues.
Any other questions or comments? Do we have a motion?
I make a motion to approve item 3D on OMAG.
Thank you.
Second.
Item 3D is approved. We'll move on to item 3E, which is the discussion and possible action to approve a special assessment invoice from OPEHW at the cost of $126,988.40. Mr. Thomas.
Again, as Commissioner Mecklenburg had said, and I've shared with you, that we are exploring some other health insurance programs. I have a broker working with us that I have worked with in the past. Unfortunately, we are part of a municipal pool. That's what OPEHW is. And they spent more than $5 million more expenses than they had revenues. And so they looked at all the communities, and based on a percent of what your number of employees were in that insurance pool is how they came up with this assessment. My understanding is you got hit with a special assessment 2 years before I got here. I think it was around 85 or 100,000. So unfortunately, you know, it's a sad way to do business. This is all retro. This is for the last 2 years, and so we could absorb this money, this $126,988.40. It'll come out of each department. We had money set aside for risk management. We didn't end up using any of it, so we've got this covered in the current fiscal year 2026 budget.
So even if we shopped around and found somebody else, this is in the past. This has got to be
This is, we
saved.
have to.
That's
pay,
right.
yeah.
We're with these guys till July 1. I'm hoping in the next 30 days, 45 days, that we'll get some numbers from this insurance broker that'll tell us, hey, you can do a better job going with another company, another healthcare.
This doesn't go into next year's premium
No.
number. This is just
No,
a one-time assessment.
This is behind us, yeah. So we can absorb it, but here again, I don't want you to see a check for $126,988 because it exceeds my authority.
Yeah, and then I would also say, like, if we end up staying with this group and understanding that it looks like every 2 years they give a special assessment because they can't get their accounting right. We need to make sure that we're looking at that in our budgets to where every year we just assess $85,000 or $80,000 a year. We know
Yeah.
that we're gonna have to have this come in, because, having a
100
surprise $130,000 bill every 2 years is not,
Yeah.
we need to make budget for it.
Yeah. Health insurance, as the mayor and I talked this afternoon, you know, a family plan is about $22,000 a month.
A year. 2,200.
22, yeah, that's right, I'm sorry, 22,000 for a year, yeah, for a family plan. And, I'm exploring the percent the city pays versus the employee, so we may be coming back with a recommendation at budget time, because it's just getting out of hand.
I think these two things too, and Jim and I have discussed over the weekend too, is the fact that we will bring this in the budget retreat, right? I mean, we
Yeah.
have to.
Right.
And some of these things that we continue to see over and over, we're gonna need to do that,
Yeah.
among other things. I mean, there's, you know, managing our costs is gonna be pretty important over the next year for sure. And it always is, but
Yeah,
with some of these things, it's even more important.
yep. All right, I will make a motion to approve the special assessment invoice from OPEHW for the cost of $126,988.40.
Second?
Thank you.
Brittany?
Yeah.
Got a contact support dialogue box.
I did too earlier. I'd refreshed and it came back in.
Oh, you did?
Commission.
You want me to vote for you?
Yes.
Okay. There you go.
Item 3E is approved. We'll move on to item 3F. Discussion possible action regarding declaring the 1976 120G motor grader for surplus. It's currently sitting in the street department.
Yeah.
Mr. Thomas.
It's on Bowman. We could not use it in the last snowstorm. I ended up subcontracting that work out. And it cost me $3,000 to use a road grader to plow 13th Street, the major streets we needed to get plowed. And so Bobby couldn't get it running. We can't find a mechanic that can work on something that's that old, 50 years old. And so we're just gonna surplus and get it out of the boneyard.
Yeah,
We've got a guy that likes our old equipment, old police cars, and he sold some old lawnmowers that we had in the Parks Department, and so we'll just add this to that list. We've got a couple of trucks we're gonna be surplusing out later in the KPWA budget.
Motion to approve the declaring the 1976 road grader surplus by the street department.
second. When we do that, Jim, when we go out and need some grading, do we go to the county or do we go to a private?
We have a private contractor I got a bid from. The mayor and I have talked about inquiring with the county, you know, what resources they have.
Yeah.
So that's still on the books. But, and in the last snowstorm, they had their hands full
Sure.
just dealing with what they
We're
had.
dealing with what they had to do with.
Yeah.
All right, that motion carries. We'll move on to item 3G. Why does this keep popping up?
I know, I had to refresh, I don't know why it keeps popping up, but I refreshed and it went on,
Okay.
so I don't know.
Item 3G is discussion and possible action to approve budget amendments.
Anita, you want to come up? Walk them through that.
These are kind of a first round of some ones to get some of the things that you guys have done on the books. Library's gotten a couple of grants and we're just dispersing it into their expenditures. Economic development, we've got some donations, and so we're alleviating that expense for that contractor. And then the advance that we made on the street, the ODOT, OTAP that we talked about last month, through the street department for the sidewalks over here, we had to advance ODOT the money, so it recognizes that spending in there. And then, I did some, because airport has to balance to the penny on each line, not balance to the penny, has to stay in the green on each line for their budget. So I moved some of the contract services and fuel purchases, because they went over on fuel purchases, and outlay just so that their budget looks clean. The fire fund, I recognized the spending for the fire station itself, the actual contract, the loan proceeds, and the note payments for this year. And then on Public Works, if you want the explanation now before we get there, it's recognizing the bond payments, as well as a grant that we got on the hydraulic, was it a jetter trailer or something like that?
Yes,
Recognizing
the electric
those.
department, yeah.
Yeah. So that's basically what they are, is just recognizing some things that you guys have approved that really need to be on there. We're gonna do some additional ones next month as well, so this isn't the end of it. Do you want me to go into my reports now, or do you wanna?
Well, first.
We have to take action on that,
Yeah.
yep. Do we have any questions of Anita, or not? Do we have a motion?
I make a motion to approve item 3G on the budget.
Second.
Item 3G is approved. We'll move on to 3H, which is the financial report.
Okay. On the general, really, it's pretty what we expected it to be for February. We had a $45,000 gain. It leaves us for the year at a $411,000 loss. But as I've told you, we will get some money in March or April on 522 that always balances this out. The only thing that's really out of whack looking is the street department, but that's the OTAP. The OTAP funds that we just approved in the budget amendments will make that no longer look out of balance.
Remind me again of the sewer, or 45% of budget on the sewer.
On the
the
sewer,
month?
on Public Works,
Yeah.
a lot of that is, now this month, we make semi-annual payments on the sewer plant loan from OWRB that we wrote in 2020. February is one of the months that we write the semi-annual, I think, so it's principal and interest, it was $137,000. So instead of doing monthly, they like theirs semi-annually. And then the one on the water department was the SCADA for $99,000. And that's what caused the water department to be at 18% instead of the general aid. So that was the two things that hit on Public Works side. And actually, when you put those together, if it weren't for those two payments, we'd actually be in the black for the month. Because after all those payments, we're $180,000 loss for the month of February, $229,000 for the year. And get those air conditioners running, folks.
Sewer too, part of that was the Fay Avenue. Wasn't that part of last month?
There was some of that in there, but the bulk of that cost was that payment. I think we
Yeah.
did pay for some of the repairs still
Yeah.
in there. So, yeah, there's gonna be some more budget amendments coming next month to shore up those two departments and to recognize also the payments we will be making to Infomark, so. And then we come to the cash page. The number I always go to is the unencumbered balance, which is almost 9.2 million. I did, in case you're wondering, on the fire tax line, I did recognize the 2.5 that, don't know when we'll get it, but I'm gonna knock wood that comes soon. we're all on the ready to accept that, so. But yeah, I did figure that into the works. And one thing I did also do, just to be transparent, is I took out the 1.1 city transfer that even though it's budgeted, it hasn't moved yet. It's still in the city. Since we had the 2.5 come in and another one that's gonna trickle in and eventually, was it P3 that you call that? I thought we might have other uses in the city side, and so I'd kind of leave that decision to you guys on if you actually did want to move it or if you want to leave it in the city coffers. So, because we were kind of doing that as a means to shore up the finishing of the fire department. So,
Right.
Any questions?
Nina, what are we getting on our CDs right now?
We're getting around 3.9, and actually, I'm not sure, I've got one that's gonna mature this month, and I'm curious, I know there's a 16-month one out there, but I haven't got with them on what the rate is. But they were doing a better rate if you extended to 16-month, and it was a cashable, so where if I did need to pull it out, I could. 3.9's not too bad,
Yeah.
so. And then, of course, on city funds, I'm getting Fed rate, so.
Thank you, Ms. James. Next item is item 4. Do we have a motion for adjournment?
Motion for adjournment.
Oh, I did skip.
I mean,
Ready to
sorry,
go?
I
Yeah,
just
yeah.
haven't heard Jim enough. To
Well,
If you're gonna skip me, I'll let you skip it.
yeah.
Well,
My apologies on that.
You
Golly.
guys get my
second.
hot topics. I try
Yeah.
to keep you in the loop. The only thing I just want to emphasize is we're preparing for the budget meeting on March 25th at 8:15. If you have some specific areas you want me to look at, we're going to do some things a little bit differently this year. Jonah's putting together a PowerPoint for each department so that they'll have talking points, and we'll try to keep it a little more organized and everybody having the same amount of time. We'll be able to show you what the personnel operating costs are and then the other parts of the budget in their particular budgets. They're going to talk about what they accomplished in the last 12 months, what they hope to accomplish in the 12 months going forward. So hopefully it'll be a little more efficient use of time, because I know you guys give your time up pretty generously during the day. We'll start at 8:15 and hopefully wrap it up by noon. That's all I have, unless anybody had any questions on my hot topics.
I do, Jim. Can you give us a quick update on the Infomark relationship and where we're at on the implementation of them into the system and everything, and our employees, our ex-employees and all that kind of stuff? Or is that gonna be next? Is that gonna be later?
Well, Kevin's here,
Okay.
but I can share with you, it was a smooth transition on the 1st of March. Kevin was here, in fact, for 2 weeks before that, getting acclimated. They have had one of their asset managers come out and do a complete inventory of all of our assets. We're gonna cycle out some old trucks that we had. They brought 5 new trucks on board. Kevin is attending our staff meetings. Even though they're a subcontractor of ours, they're still part of our team. They have hired their 3 additional employees. They're already on site. We will be cashing out the employees that had comp time and vacation and PTO. Infomark was gracious enough to allow the employees to carry over 160 hours that we're not going to pay for, but it'll be on their books and they'll be carrying that. So in my opinion, it's gone as smooth as I thought it would. Kevin will do the same thing that Steve did, give me a progress report of activities that are going on and where they anticipate we're going. They have been very much involved when we had a meeting with Park Hill, and that's later on the budget, talking about the headworks. Both Steve Sears and Kevin Cahoon was at the table participating in those discussions. And so I see that going forward when it comes to water and sewer. So I think it's I was joking with the mayor over the weekend. I said, I want to come back in 5 years and see what a difference it's going to make. I think the the public is gonna be very, very happy. It was a wise move on the part of you guys as commissioners, elected officials.
Cool, thank you.
You bet.
Any other questions? Sorry, I skipped over you. I didn't mean to do that.
You're fine.
Whitrock, he already made the motion, so
Just need a second.
we just need a second.
Second.
Thank you.
I'm just gonna roll it.
You're fine.
Yes.
Pardon?
Is it the meeting or the leg?
Yeah.
All right, we are adjourned. We'll reconvene as the Kingfisher Public Works Authority. First item on that agenda, thank you, Mr. Gooden. First item on the agenda is a consent docket. Do we have any questions, comments, concerns in regards to that? If not, do we have a motion?
Motion to approve consent docket.
Second.
Thank you.
I think it was already there at the bottom. Yeah. I clicked it, yeah. It should pop up right there.
There we go. Oh, you already voted for it? Oh, there it is. Oh, yep. Hey, oh. Hold on, mine's going crazy here. I don't know.
Want me to vote?
Yes.
Refreshing is not, there we go.
There we
That
go.
consent docket is approved. Next item on the agenda is item 3A, discussion and possible action on the Kingfisher new wastewater treatment plant, bar screen facilities, and main lift station pump replacement project with an estimated total of $2,223,775. Mr. Archer.
Okay, we do have a revision to that overall number. Jim and I got together earlier today, so
Now it's below 2.
we're getting closer.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Almost there.
Okay, so the document in front of you, this updates what I provided to Jim last week. It's just only changes to this are some of the fee structures in here. Well, and your overall project cost has dropped, but the construction cost remains the same. Where we came in and modified this from last week's is a reduction in the bidding phase services and construction phase services. Each one of those was reduced by $10,000 each. And then we removed, at the city's request, the resident project representative, so that's the inspector. Talking with Jim and with Steve Sears and Infomark, it sounded like maybe there would be an opportunity for the city to negotiate those terms with those folks. So we removed that from our scope of our contract. Just wanted to point out that from the Class 5 cost estimate, which is what we used in the CIP last year, to now that we've completed the design memorandum and selected a path forward, we're about $500,000 less than what we originally projected. So hopefully that's good news to everybody. So far we're tightening it up and getting closer and closer to what we think is going to be our bid-ready number. But this, what we don't have here is the actual contract. Jim does have a copy of that. It's a long document, so we didn't print that. But this would allow us to move into the next stage, would be into our design phase, and also for bidding and construction phase services and things of that nature. But go ahead and take what we put together in that design memo and then start developing design plans, technical specifications, bid documents, and go through ODEQ permitting process. Also be able to help get the Water Resources Board, CWSRF, those remaining dollars that were associated with that previous loan, get those repurposed to support this project.
And those are about a 1.1 million at 1.88% interest. This still is part of the 5 million we borrowed in December, but that interest rate is at 4.5%, and it's a 29-year loan. So I would recommend, based on our conversation this afternoon and them paring it down. I think this is more reasonable. Now, the question, and Kevin's here, Commissioner Whitrock called me earlier this afternoon about the grinder pump at the lift station. We are still having problems with the manufacturer that sold that to us 7 years ago. And we've used two different consulting firms, E3 Square,
EI squared.
you've called, Infomarket's called. I wouldn't recommend these guys to be a dog catcher.
Well, they were on the bid list for this.
Not the company that's down there now.
They're one of the screens.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
they
there was
sure
a
are.
Huber,
Yeah.
yeah. It's just one of the options.
Yeah, but we're not gonna
Show
use
all
it.
of them. Right.
We're using a better system that was developed by a company on the eastern side of Oklahoma.
When we write our technical specifications, there'll be opportunity for people to submit equivalents, and then we'll all meet
Yeah.
and discuss and select
Yeah.
which supplier we
So-
use.
EI Squared, though, was not the manufacturer. They were
They're
the
the brand.
representative of that
They
bar
are,
screen.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, EI Squared they rep a lot of different manufacturer lines. They just happen to represent Huber here in Oklahoma.
And Jonah, what's the name of the company that you guys used in Claremore? DuPont, yeah. That's who we really want to get.
I was just calling today to ask about, the last time we met, we were talking about the bar screen and lift station down here. And if we don't get a bar screen there, we're potentially chewing up pumps prematurely before it has to get lifted and sent out. This bar screen proposal that you're gonna work up is gonna be out of the headworks.
Yes.
So if all of this gets built, we still don't have a solution for down here. And are we
At the
gonna
lift
be at the
station.
mercy of,
So part of this includes swapping those pumps out and putting in a different style, either a chopper style pump that would allow those rags and different debris to make it to the new screening facility, or there's other types of pumps that can clear clogs automatically.
but that's not being designed at the headworks in this project.
It's at the main lift station. So where your current lift station is, those new pumps, that new configuration would be installed there to help relieve some of those issues.
So, but this down here, right, when I say down here,
The headworks and the main lift station are right there together.
I thought there was
Right?
one
They
separate.
are the same, right? I mean,
Yeah,
basically.
well, we're planning to, this alternative that's been selected is building the new bar screen facility at the wastewater treatment plant.
And
Not
right
at the
now,
end,
there
right
is
up.
no bar screening.
that works, it's there, it just doesn't work. But
No.
it's not at headworks.
No, this is why I was getting confused. Yeah. There is a headworks about a mile from here. And it has a Huber boat.
Out there?
Yes.
Okay,
When you go to the sewer plant itself, there is nothing that catches anything.
okay.
They're using rakes, hand rakes,
Manual bar racks.
manual bar racks. They're getting in a boat. I mean, it's as ancient of a system as I've ever seen anywhere. So what we're gonna do is build something at the sewer plant. We're still gonna try to get Huber off their behinds and find out why they can't get a system that hasn't worked for 7 years that we paid $195,000 for. If we can't get it working, we're gonna put in some grinder pumps, what did you call those? Chopper pumps.
They're
Chopper
either gonna be
pumps.
chopper pumps or a pump that's capable of clearing those clogs. And the reason why I say either one of those is because it changes the screens that we wanna use at the wastewater plant. Because if we do a chopper pump, you have to have a fine enough screen to be able to get that material back out once you've chopped it up and sent it downstream. So it could be a package here where we're gonna have pumps that self-clear. Flight is a brand that does that. And then kind of a traditional bar screen at the wastewater plant, where you do a chopper and fine screens. So it's just,
All inclusive in the design.
yeah, that's all
Okay.
through this.
I was making sure we weren't missing the middle piece of this. I was in my head envisioning.
No, and I'm sorry, Jeff, I was getting a little
Well,
confused.
and the part that Jim and I had talked about before is if we can get the Huber system working again, the Rotamax screen is what that's called, then we're in belt and suspenders mode, right? We have chopper pumps or self-clearing pumps, plus the Rotamax screen, plus a screen at the wastewater plant. So we would be protecting our downstream treatment units really, really well at that point. But if that Rotomax screen can't be brought online for whatever reason, then the new pumps and our screens at the plant will protect our treatment plant.
And obviously, we have to weigh the cost of fixing that, and once we identify
Right.
what it's gonna cost to fix,
Right.
if it's repairable.
So I'm very comfortable with what's being proposed. The contingency still is at 15%. In talking to Travis today, he said they originally were at 20%, so the tighter we get the specs and the bids come in, that number will go down. They're still looking at about 6 months construction time, once we get all the bids in and the permits, and our goal is still to try to get this operation before the end of the year.
That, we have construction right now scheduled for early fall, is
Okay.
what we would be targeting. So
Okay, so
maybe
first quarter of
first quarter of
2027.
2027 is
Yeah.
kind of the target date.
Yeah.
And that's outlined in the contract with our schedule.
Out of curiosity, the screens themselves, why are we not getting any? Because I thought ultimately it was decided that the control panel fried, right? In the,
For the Huber,
yeah, well,
Yes.
is that what it's called?
yeah.
I thought that was ultimately the issue, but we can't get anybody to look at that?
Yeah, so we set that part outside of what we're gonna focus on. What we wanna focus on is getting either the correct pumps in there to be able to clear that material,
Yeah.
if that Huber can't be replaced, but also building a new bar screen facility that we know can capture the material.
Yeah, okay.
We did look at some options, dual auger system Duperon makes, some other things that could be things that the city wants to consider in the future. But as part of this design project, we're not gonna do anything outside of the pumping facility at that main lift.
So who's got that task?
As far as,
The old one?
Oh, we're still staying on top of it. Infomark is staying
Okay,
on
that's
top
on
of it. The
Infomark's
frustration I'm having is Infomark has tried to call them, E Squared 3D tried to call them, Park Hill has tried to call them. I don't know if they're on the verge of going bankrupt, but I wouldn't recommend them to anybody. The Dupron system, I
You're
have
just
seen
talking
it.
about the distributor, right? Not the
Yeah.
manufacturer.
No, the manufacturer
The
itself.
manufacturer itself, okay,
Yeah.
the Huber itself.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
so the distributor that sold it to us is not being very helpful in getting resolution to.
No.
They haven't been able to
No,
get Huber representatives out
yeah.
yet, so. That's
So,
been-
I mean, we're
Thank
still,
you twice about
we're still
representing
pursuing
our
that.
clients.
yeah,
But any engineer worth his salt is gonna tell you, that thing hasn't turned in 7 years, you know? I mean, I was getting stories that got hit by lightning, you know, the maintenance agreement wasn't paid, you know, I can't even get anybody to give me a straight answer on the thing. And so I tried to get Infomark involved, thinking, you know, they got 3,000 employees, and they carry a little more weight than a little town of 5,000 people. But they're striking out, E Squared 3D is striking out, and Park Hill is striking out. I'm gonna send the mayor next.
Is there any reason to maybe have Jared send something from his perspective?
I don't know, I guess we could,
I
you
thought at the
know.
last workshop, they had come out and looked at it. Or was that the
EI squared.
EI squared
squared,
came out and
yeah.
looked? Okay.
Yes.
And they identified they needed to get with,
With
okay,
Huber.
Huber,
Yeah.
okay, that's where it was at.
And then I went one step further. I had a company come out and go down into the bowels of that thing to see if we could pull that boat anchor out and put in a Dupron grinder in. And they said it would work fine. The concrete is solid, there's nobody living down there. So that's still an option if we want to put that additional
But that's not,
belt and
that's not in
suspenders.
this.
No.
yeah, but you're offsetting that too, I mean, there'd be all kinds, there'd be some challenges there though too, wouldn't
For, I'm
For
sorry,
a
let's click
Hebron,
pumps.
for a Dupron?
The dual auger system?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Automatic Engineering, who is a part of Cogent, and they're the manufacturer rep for Duperon, they're the ones that came out and did the inspection at the main lift. And they've sent us CAD drawings, so we know what the configuration is of that. And I think, based on their findings anyway, they believe they could install the dual auger system there, which is a different product, similar in nature to what's out there from Huber. Maybe a quality difference, maybe a serviceability difference. But that part of the project, talking with Jim and Steve, left that
Yeah.
to him for Mark to work out through the maintenance and other issues while I'm trying to figure out Huber.
I mean, the Dupron system has been tested and proven to work. Huber is not tested and it's not worked.
Yeah, but you don't want to sole source it. I mean, you're gonna have to open it up to public bidding to something that is approved equal. You can't dictate. You can dictate a manufacturer, but you also have to provide.
What we would have is it's gonna be, our design is based on X
Yeah.
or an equivalent. And then that would be up to the different manufacturers to show or demonstrate how they meet
Right.
all that criteria.
Right.
So, just out of curiosity, if you did design something like that in place, what could you save on, instead of putting whatever you call them, chopper pumps in there? How much money could you save, and could you save money by putting another process in there as opposed to putting chopper pumps?
Yeah, so the chopper pumps, we just added into the cost estimate last week. And we have that because there would have to be some piping modifications in that. That represents about $180,000. But you would get brand new pumps, and you would still be able to use potentially some of the current pumps as spares. So the pumps down there aren't brand new. So we would get value added to the project by buying new pumps and getting those installed. But yeah, it's, right now we have that set at $180,000
Yeah,
as part
two
of
of
this
them.
project.
For 90,000 apiece, yeah.
But if you went with it, whatever you call it, Dupron,
Yeah.
and installed that, how much more would that, because that would protect your pumps.
Right.
Right.
And the budget target that we had talked about previously for that was in the 150, 175 range.
So it's kind of a wash.
Gets pretty close, yeah.
It would be that belt and suspenders you're talking about.
But let me ask you
Because
this,
it's
what
dumping
kind
the
of a
rags.
maintenance are we gonna have to incur with these chopper pumps as compared to protecting it prior to?
Well, and that may be something Kevin as an operator might be
I
able
think
to
that,
share.
I think looking at the systems, you don't know how worn those pumps are that are down in the hole right now.
I get that, I guess I'm just saying, Kevin, if you put in chopper pumps as opposed to putting in the Dupron system and then the pumps that, replace the pumps that we've got, if it's kind of a wash, how much more are we gonna spend in maintenance for those chopper pumps as opposed to the new pumps that we currently have?
Right off the top, you probably wouldn't spend a lot of money on them. Going down 5 years, now you're gonna start to see your maintenance costs increase on those.
So is it chopper pump as opposed to this other pump? What's the difference in cost?
Do you have that?
Which pump?
So if we just replace the pumps that we currently have, not chopper pumps,
At the Dupron.
yeah,
Yeah, so if you replace the ones you have down, I don't have a price. on
ballpark?
them. I would say those are probably in the $40,000 to $50,000 range.
So you're talking $100,000 difference replacing the two of them.
Potentially, yeah. If you were to put in brand new pumps and then you come in, you put the Duperon dual auger system in, you would be north of what the chopper pump option is, but.
Because anytime you introduce a chopper pump that you're grinding all this, there's gonna be wear and tear,
There can be
right?
wear. Right, you have
Lots of
blades on
wear.
the inside that are gonna require maintenance and that, but the one thing with the screen, whether it's Huber or Duperon, ahead of the pumps, is they're not designed to capture everything. Right, you're gonna capture some of the larger debris, but there's still gonna be material making it into those existing
You
pumps.
bet.
So the chance of completely protecting those from clogging is it's not realistic, but it could reduce your overall times that you have to go and de-rag those things.
But right now, everything is going to the sewer plant.
Yes.
It's
Right.
just bypassing that thing. And so there is some value in getting a Dupron chopper machine because it's dumping it in a big garbage can, what do they call those? Dumpster.
Dumpster.
You know,
Yeah.
that's not going to the plant.
Yeah, no, I get it.
And I think the city had the right idea in 2017. They just had the wrong contractor and the wrong manufacturer that has never been proven. It was just a new company
Who
and
knows what happened?
What's the life of the new system?
New system, the headworks and the pumps,
Yeah.
you typically are targeting between 20, 25 years, somewhere
So we're talking, so, again, I'm trying to keep up, but this is a lot.
You missed the workshop.
So we're talking about the Hebron or whatever the
Yep.
pumps, 40 to, let's say there are 80, there's 2 pumps at $100,000, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
And
conservative.
we're talking about a $2 million project, and protecting, those pumps, replacing those pumps could help us protect a $2 million project. Like you're saying, Jeff, I mean, is it something we should consider to lump this into this project and get those pumps replaced and working so that we have redundancy in the protection of our overall bigger?
I think it's
equipment?
bigger than that though too, because we borrowed and spent 3.2 million on upgrading our wastewater treatment plant
Right.
5 years ago.
Right,
So I mean, this $2 million project is basically trying to get it from where everything gathers to the wastewater treatment plant.
Yeah.
Introducing bar screens at the wastewater treatment plant.
Right.
One of the reasons, and I mean, you can correct me, Travis or Kevin, but one of the reasons that we went through this a month ago and had some discussions regarding this was because we were gonna replace everything where we currently are. And part of the problem with that is we're in a flood zone. And so it would increase cost to bring in a road that is out of the flood zone that would increase cost significantly.
it was $1
So-
million just for the road.
Yeah, and so, anyway, Travis has worked through some of this, and so it's really protecting a system that is probably closer to a $10 million system or larger with what's downstream, and then ultimately treating the water and emptying into the creek. But I guess my question is, when you have a grinder pump situation, and it's gonna cost us $180,000 for those 2 pumps, and we could put in a Duperon, whatever it's called, for whatever the price is, reduce our pump costs. Over the life of that, it's gonna be a less cost, I would expect, because if we have to replace a pump 20 years down the road, it's gonna be less costly to replace the current type of system if we protect it versus a chopper pump. So that's, I don't know.
what do you guys say about that?
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense, I'm hearing it, but what are your guys' thoughts?
And that was something we've talked about at the workshop or
In January.
follow-up meetings.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
we've gone through a lot of iterations on this. And
Yeah.
that's where, the way we have it written right now is we're gonna focus on the pumps and the bar screens as Park Hill. And the idea there was that'll free us up to get design underway, while the city and Infomark work to see if we can get that Huber system back online.
Yeah.
If it ultimately proves not successful, we can't get that Huber back online, there's nothing that would stop the city from coming back in and putting a Duperon dual auger system in, or something equivalent to that.
We can do that under maintenance with an R&R.
Yeah, yeah.
So
I
I
think-
think we wanted to remove that question mark from our project scope. Still
Right.
provide what the city needs, but also understanding that we're gonna continue trying to tackle that as a separate effort.
I think just the same question I asked Steve, where Will Rogers was in the priority list. He was number 1. This project is number 1 to be completed over the next 10 years. I mean, this was a top high priority project. That's why we've spent so much time debating it, discussing it internally, trying to find what meets the needs of a town of 5,000 that may grow to 6,000 over the next 20 years.
Yeah, my question is, again, long-term, and I know we talked about that, and we felt like at the time that we could get this system because it was a control panel issue, right, that was fried. It was gonna be pretty simple to get that deal done. My only reserve here is the fact that if it's gonna cost a significant amount more money, anytime you retrofit anything, it's gonna cost you more money than if you just do it, right? So that's my question. Yeah, I know you guys would like to get it under design. My question is, what's going to be best for the citizens of Kingfisher, and what's gonna be less costly over the course of time where we don't have to maintain things to the extent that I would expect we would see just given that system, but that's where I'm at.
I think something that hasn't been stated that you also need to be aware of is that we're not just looking to protect the pumps or put in a bar screen, but down the road is gonna start impacting your compliance at the wastewater plant. So that's a big issue. You just don't want DEQ in here for a compliance issue. Then you're gonna end up under NOVs
And that was part of that's why they rated it number one.
Yes.
The project was because they determined that there was some significant oversight that's been happening for years that needs to get addressed immediately.
Yeah. Were we under an NOV when we borrowed we had a notice violation out there previously, right?
So with all that being said, I would recommend a total project cost of $2,091,775, which is the bottom line on this project.
Well, we're not really approving that. Are we really approving that, or are we approving Park Hill's contract? I mean, that's just an estimated total cost, right?
Yeah.
We're not approving.
Oh, I see,
Yeah.
yeah. So what we would be approving is 223 and 42.5. Is that correct, Travis?
Yes, yeah, for the basic professional services and those additional professional service line items.
And that will get them to start permitting, start getting the DEQ to, or OWRB to reappropriate the money and get it out to bid.
So do we need to change the item on this? I mean, right now it shows that we're approving an estimate of 2.223 million. And then that's not even the correct number.
So we need to do this?
The 42.5 plus the 223 was what I would probably mention in my,
Yeah.
In the motion?
Yeah.
Okay,
You with
yeah.
that?
is that cool, Jared?
Yeah, I mean, I see where all the numbers are coming
That's the
from. I
numbers
think
for
the
the
big
contract.
thing is to make sure you say the amount that you're wanting to spend on Park Hill right now.
Okay, I've got it right here, so I'll make a motion to approve Kingfisher new WWTP bar screen facilities and main lift station pump replacement project for a total at this point of $350,775. Is that kind of how you want it, Jared?
No, that's a little high.
Isn't that 223 plus the
42?
42?
Oh,
No,
Yeah.
that's high.
Yeah, that's what.
it's 265.
It went off of his math, that was his math.
45,
Yeah, you better check him again.
42,500 plus 223,
275.
275.
265,
All right,
775.
so,
Sorry.
correction, for the amount of $265,775.
It's a good thing I'm here, Travis.
265,775.
Wow.
Hey, we're all here.
We'll
We have
get
a-
there.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
You still have a job, Travis? Thanks, everybody. I appreciate the dialogue and discussion.
Didn't pass.
Oh, it didn't pass?
So this motion is not accurate for what we're doing. And this motion is still approving the estimated cost of 2.223 million.
Well, 'cause
It'll be replaced in the
I'm gonna
minutes.
replace it, I just let you guys go ahead and vote, so you don't have to wait on me.
Make sure when you look at your minutes next month.
Yeah,
that we got
exactly,
it
right,
there.
right.
265,775 is what you approved. Okay, that's what I wrote down.
Yeah, item 3A is approved. Thank you, Travis.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next item on the agenda is 3B, discussion and possible action on the purchase of AMI electric meters and water mesh pit mount from Tesco totaling $550,672.76.
All right, Mark, Tesco, you guys want to come up?
Now, this is deemed for next fiscal year, right?
No, we're going to try to get it done this,
But it's in the budget for next year.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so what we're trying to do, Joe and I shared with you his original memorandum of moving some money around the $5 million that we borrowed in December. They have responded to his memo, they've asked for a little more information, we're still got it in the queue. Our goal is to acquire the electric meters for the AMI, get the nodes in for the balance of what's due. And then, once we get that up and operating, then we're gonna do the water meters. But combined, if you look at the water and the electric, it's about 550,000 or whatever that number is on there. Is that it in a nutshell?
Yes.
In layman's terms? We've been very happy with Tesco. They have got half the city done with updated systems. Right now, we're running 2 parallel systems, Eaton and Tesco. And we pray every night that everything works out fine when you're running 2 parallel systems. And so what we're trying to do is be forward-thinking and get this done. As far as the electric meters go, what's the delivery on those, 30 days?
It's about 4 to 6 weeks, depending on quantity and meter form.
Once we put the order in?
For the, let's see, 1,480, maybe 6 to 8 weeks for the full.
Okay, okay. So that's why we want to keep moving this thing along. We'd recommend approval of.
So we're replacing all the Eatons as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
what is our relationship with Eaton, and what are any recourse or anything as far as the fact that they didn't do what they said they were gonna do?
Mark, go ahead.
I would just send their equipment back to them and be done with it. We're still having issues with the gateways being down and billings. I mean, it's just not working. But I think that our city attorney said that there wasn't much recourse. I mean, it's just.
I don't know about that, we just haven't dug into it. I think it's kind of been one of those we've tossed around, but we want to get get up and running.
But I mean, if we've made the decision, we're moving away from it.
Right. Now's
We're gonna spend
probably the
extra
time to
money
actually
and
start
go
working on it.
Then now's the time to start looking at were they in the wrong in any way? And is there any recourse that we can have because we're having to spend this extra time and money and effort and moving away from it?
Yeah, I think, yeah, probably with the decision to make it happen and go,
Yeah.
especially since we're trying to do it fast, because, we've talked about doing it in slower phases, but if we're gonna kick it up and try to be done with it, now's probably the time to get moving on that.
I guess, Jared, without getting too personal about this is another one of those bad decisions the city made. Just like the Huber system, you should never have bought that. Eaton does not represent one community, one private entity in the state of Oklahoma. And that should have been a clear sign to the elected officials and to the administration that why are we getting in bed with somebody that nobody's sleeping with? I hate to use that analogy, but that's the only way I can think of this. That's why we did a beta test with Tesco, just to see, are they any better? And then we found out, well, they're in 10, 12 communities in Oklahoma. We called those guys. How is it working out? Hey, great, man. We wish we would have had them years ago. I just feel bad that the city has made some bad decisions and we're having to pay for them today.
How much do we have invested in the Eaton system as we sit right now?
1.1 million. You paid for it in cash, or you borrowed the money from OMPA, I
Yeah, I
guess.
think that went through the OMPA.
Yeah, and I don't know if they gave you a low-interest loan, but you paid it off.
Right.
But I think
Last payment was last year.
the total
Wasn't
bill
it,
was
Anita?
1.1 million.
So I would think there would be some kind of if you turn back that equipment, there would
We
be,
have to go back and look at those agreements and everything again, but certainly something we can ramp up at this point.
And any breach contract they had with anything as far as telling us so that something would work and something would make, and it didn't work, and it didn't, there'd be some definitely investigation that need to go on, but you're talking about a 1.1 million project, it could add up quick.
yeah, for sure.
What's the line in the sand date to get the manual meter reader off the book? Because I know we talked in the workshop also, once we get to a comfortable level.
July
high
1?
percentage.
I mean, are we looking at
Yeah.
July, or sooner?
Sooner if we can get the last half done. I mean, Infomark said, hey, we got people that will come in and help with the water.
Yep.
I can turn my team loose and I think that's a reasonable shot.
Okay, let's shoot for that from him.
If we get this thing approved, give them a purchase order to start getting it in the queue, I think we can get it done by July 1.
Can you deliver is it one order, or can you deliver partial?
It'll be phased,
Okay,
partial.
okay.
That's
That'll
what
help.
they did last time. And I might add that they've added several communities in Oklahoma just within,
Oh,
I mean.
since we've been working with you.
That's correct, yes,
Since
sir.
you came on board with us 2 years ago.
That's correct. SkyTook is now about halfway or quarter of the way deployed on the electric side.
Oh, really?
About to start the water as well. So we're working with, of course, Pawnee is fully deployed, Altus is fully deployed. We have Comanche fully deployed, Cushing is fully deployed. They're starting on water soon. Collinsville is starting up.
Okay.
SkyTook is ongoing. Of course, Kingfisher and Salem on the
Okay.
border. So
Okay. And I will tell you this much, when we've called these guys, they show up. Eaton, it takes almost an act of Congress to get them to come.
We still haven't got Mark down here on that.
Yeah.
They're dinner with Hubert.
So,
Any further discussion? Any other questions?
So where's this money coming from?
I visited with
here
him about that.
again, we're trying to get it repurposed from the 5 million.
But if not,
If not, we'll just take it out of undesignated fund balance in the KPWA fund.
for 1
The capital improvement.
Capital improvement, yeah. Because we've been doing 25% a year, and it's just time to rip off the Band-Aid and finish the job and make some improvements and cut our ties with Eaton and, because we pay $20,000 a year just for computer technology, or,
The software.
Software.
yeah, software. So, I mean, just between those two, we'll save about $90,000 cutting our ties with Eaton.
okay, I'll make a motion to approve the purchase of AMI electric meters and water mesh pit mounts at the total of $550,672.76.
And then that's, you said 6 to 8 weeks to get the equipment. Then Mark, what's the timeline to get everything employed,
They're real quick.
launched out? Are they good? They go pretty quick?
Yeah,
The electric meters go very quick.
Okay.
The water meters take 15 to 20 minutes each.
and what's gonna be a benefit is we're halfway through, so.
Yeah,
They know what they're
You
doing.
know what you're doing.
yeah,
and we can do refresher training as well with Inframark if we need to. So
yeah,
we don't charge for that, so
yeah.
just let us know.
I haven't had anything come up yet.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
Oh, second. There we go, sorry.
That's why.
Just waiting.
My bad. Sorry, the hydrocodone's kicking in.
Don't say that on camera. Keep that out of the paper bag.
Item 3B is approved. Next item on the agenda, thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Hey, Mark, you might as well stay up here. Discussion and possible action declaring 4 traffic light poles as surplus for the electric department.
Yeah, I don't know where these came from. I guess they redone some of the lights in 2017. But anyway, I thought we could use it when the truck hit the pole south of town. I thought we could use some of those, but they said they were too short to cover that intersection. So, I mean, they're just,
Surplus.
yep, they're just grass growers now, so.
All right, we have a motion.
Make a motion to surplus the 4 traffic light poles at the electric department.
Second.
Thank you.
Could we not put these next 3 together?
You can't, you don't have each
They're
one.
individual.
I wish.
Item 3C is approved. Item 3D is discussion and possible action declaring the 2018 Dodge 2500 pickup VIN number as shown as surplus for the water department. I don't think there's much to say here. Do
No.
we?
No.
Any
Mark's
questions?
got their own equipment.
Yeah.
I
Okay,
motion to approve item 3D.
thank you,
Second?
thank you. Item 3D is approved. Item 3A is discussion and possible action regarding declaring the 2002 Chevrolet Silverado 1500 VIN number as seen as surplus for the power plant department.
Make a motion to approve item 3E, Echo.
Second.
Item 3E is approved. Item 3F, discussion and possible action regarding declaring the 2012 Chevrolet 2500 HD, VIN number shown as surplus for the water department.
Motion to approve 3F.
Second.
Sorry, Tammy.
Oh, no worries.
You get the next one.
Item 3F is approved. Item 3G is discussion and possible action to approve budget amendments, which we heard earlier. Do we have any questions? If not, do we have a motion?
Motion to approve budget amendments.
Second.
Thank you. Item 3G is approved. Item 4 is adjournment. Do we have a motion for adjournment?
I motion we adjourn.
Second?
We are adjourned as the Kingfisher Public Works Authority. We will reconvene as the Kingfisher Recreational Authority. First item on the agenda is a consent docket. Any questions or comments regarding that? If not, do we have a motion?
Make a motion to approve consent docket.
Second.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate you all.
Thank you.
That passed.
Okay. It didn't ever come up on mine.
It didn't, I'm sorry, it did pass.
Okay, so the consent docket's approved. No scheduled business for the recreational authority, so I would entertain a motion for adjournment.
Motion for adjournment.
Second.
Thank you.
It didn't go out.
Doesn't show it yet.
Mine's,
Maybe you're hitting everybody's.
I guess so.
You're causing the issues, Tammy?
I'm sure.
Yeah,
Did it come up for you guys yet?
it has not.
She just got moved to adjournment,
Okay.
but
Mine.
Did it go?
No, not yet.
Okay, let me vote for you. How's that?
Yep.
Tammy,
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
Jeff,
Yes,
and Jeff.
yes.
Okay.
we're adjourned. We will reconvene as the Kingfisher Special Projects Authority. The consent docket is there. Do we have a motion for the approval of the consent docket?
You ready?
No, I got knocked out.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. It's, the Wi-Fi keeps knocking me out.
Mine says current topic, still on the AMI meters for some reason.
Mine says adjournment.
Oh, does it?
Of the last meeting, not
The
this
last
one.
meeting.
There it is. There's consent docket.
Mine didn't show up.
Mine's not showing up yet, I can refresh them.
That's just manually.
Yeah.
All right, special projects.
This is for consent.
Yep, consent docket.
I make a motion to approve consent docket for Special Projects Authority.
Second.
Second.
Tammy,
Yes.
Jeff,
Yes.
Jeff,
Yes.
Kyle.
Yes.
Passed.
No scheduled business under that Special Projects Authority, so do we have a motion for adjournment?
I motion we adjourn.
Second?
Tammy,
Yes.
Jeff,
Yes.
Jeff,
Yes.
Kyle.
Yes.
All
Done.
right.
Almost made it, but good.